We all have our favorite books, maybe Harry Potter, The Hunger Games, and we love the stories and we love the characters, but maybe we don't know about the author and what maybe their story is. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the author of Between Shades of Grey, which is Ruta Sepetys, and I'm going to tell you about her childhood and her family background, a little bit about her as a writer, about her books, and so we're going to start with her growing up. So Ruta Sepetys was born November 19th, 1967 in Detroit, Michigan, and she grew up there. Her father is from Lithuania, as we all know, and she's intensely proud to be Lithuanian, which kind of goes along with the intense proudness of the people to be Lithuanian in her books. Her mother is from America, so she has an older brother and an older sister. Both of them are actually writers as well. She lives in Tennessee with her husband, who's a professional photographer. She started a business, which is the Sepetys Entertainment Group Incorporation, which she started in 1994. She was originally an opera major at Hillsdale College in Europe, and she lived in Paris. And she decided to change her major to international finance and started this company. And she worked in the music business for 20 years before she finally decided to become a writer. And this is a little bit about her as a writer. She decided to write her first book because of her family history. Since her father was from Lithuania, she visited her family and they told her that they didn't have any photos of her father or her grandfather, and she didn't know why. And so she looked into it more, and she decided that she needed to write a book about the Lithuanian genocide. Somebody asked her about her writing process in an interview, and she says that she doesn't really have a writing process. She has to write whenever she has the chance to write, and so she kind of is always rushed and is hurrying to write things. But ideally, she would like to. She likes to write. She has a family cabin that's kind of isolated, so she likes to write where it's quiet. She likes to take walks and be outdoors. To kind of get away from all the stress of writing. She says she cries a lot when she writes because her stories are so intensely emotional. She writes for a young adult audience. She really likes young adults because she believes they're not jaded and they're not affected by society, and she likes their fresh perspective. She thinks they're more truthful, and she thinks that her books will impact them more to make a difference. She loves historical fiction, which all three of her books are about. So she does lots of research. She really loves to research things. She visits places. She goes to libraries. She talks to lots of people. And she just loves research, and she loves historical fiction, which are what her three books are all about. They're all three historical fiction pieces. So we all know Between Shades of Grey, which is about the Lithuanian Holocaust and about Lena and her family, which goes along with her family history. And so she talked to lots of survivors, and she researched, and she went and she kind of stayed in one of the boxcars. So she did lots of experience and interviews and lots of research for all three of her books. Out of the Easy is about New Orleans, which she really loves New Orleans, so she decided to write this book. And she chooses the 1950s because it's perceived as this perfect time where you're the perfect housewife, and she thought, oh, okay, well, maybe there's something more than that. And she got these opera glasses, and she decided to research about it. And so she does all this research about New Orleans and finds out about the underbelly of New Orleans during this perfect time. And she writes about a girl whose mother is a prostitute who aspires to be something more than that and wants to go to college. And her final book is Salt to the Sea, and it's not out yet. It comes out in February, but it's about a cruise ship, and it's supposed to hold 1,500 people. It's from Germany. It's Prussia specifically, and they put 10,000 people on this boat. And it's mostly women and children, and the women have to choose one child. So most of the women choose the teenagers. And so it's about 4 teenagers on this cruise ship that sinks, and only 1,000 people live out of 10,000. So 9,000 people drowned in this cruise ship, and it's full of treasure and art that the Nazis, were trying to destroy. And so that's what her 3 books are about. She loves hidden history that nobody knows about. So that's what she likes to write about. And so that's a little bit about her. I just wanted to finish with the fact that I told you about her growing up and where she came from and why she writes and how she writes, and then what her books are actually about. And I thought that this would be a good topic because since she's coming in October, or this month, the 29th, now we know a little bit more about her and her life. So that's Ruta Sepetys.
The biggest challenge is learning how to say Sepetys.
Yeah. People say Sepetys or